Hey everybody, Joel here. So I am just starting another new project. We've got brown tile, obviously, around our fireplace, but we would like to change it to some white. So I just wanted to get a picture. I just started tearing the tile off just to see how it was going to come off. And it's tough. I gotta hit it with the hammer, keep hitting it, and I want to try to salvage the drywall around the best I can, but I don't know. I may have to cut that out and put some other backer in or replace it. Not quite sure. I'll see as I go, but it's kind of slow going getting these tiles off of here. You just got to take your time, and I don't want to ruin the mantle. I don't want to have to patch that or repair it. So, and I don't want to ruin the metal of the fireplace. But it is coming off around the metal part of the fireplace very easily. So the only real grip that it had was on the drywall. So breaking it into tiny little pieces and just letting them fall down to the ground here, and we'll get those vacuumed up. I just wanted to give a little bit of a before shot, and then we'll go from here. Stay tuned. Well, the tile removal got a little bit out of hand, got a little bit too aggressive maybe, I don't know, it just wasn't peeling off. And it wasn't so bad on these sides where there was good 2x4 backer, but on the top where there was no backer, it's a little bit more tricky. As I tapped on the tile, it just kind of punched right through the drywall. So gonna go ahead and I've got the hardy plank or hardy backer. It's good for fireplace surrounds, so we should be good with that. I'll go ahead and get that cut and framed in here, placed in here, I should say. And then we'll be ready to go for setting some tile, but got the mess all vacuumed up, and it's looking pretty good so far. So I've got the hardy backer in place around, and just doing some layout. This is where you really want to take some time and lay the tile out, get your spacing. So I've got 29 inches on the side here. I want to try to have a full tile under the fireplace and a full tile right at the top of the fireplace. So I'm not cutting, a piece that goes like this around the corner. It just looks a little better. And then I'll have a cut piece up there and a cut piece down at the bottom. So I've got 29 inches, and if I lay my tiles out correctly, this is about 29 inches, and it's approximately the spacing that I'll be using with the spacers that I have. I think it's 3/16. These aren't perfectly spaced by any means. I'm just getting some rough estimates here. And then you also want to take a minute and lay out your center line so you can see if you're going to end with a small piece of tile on either end. So it's looking like I'll start with a full piece in the center right underneath the fireplace, and then I'll have tile flanking each side. And then underneath that, I'll start halfway across, and then I'll have two, and then I'll have a small cut piece over here. But what I want to look at is if these grout lines will match going down, if that cut piece there will match what I have in a cut piece down there. I'm not so sure that's going to be critical. I'll take a look at it when I get to that point. I still do have to scrape off some of the old residue around, the old tile residue, the backer, and that brown stuff is caulking. Instead of grouting right up tight, they just kind of use the caulk around to cover the edge of the tile. So we'll see how this goes. I got a little bit of cleanup to do around the insides also, where they did some caulking around the mantle piece. So I think I've got my layout fairly good here. I'll go ahead and get the wet saw set up and start making some cuts and really getting these things put together and seeing how they end up. So stay tuned. I changed up the plan just a little bit. I was going to let the tile just around the edges just kind of die out and be the tile, and then either put a higher temperature caulk or grout that unfinished edge on the tile. Here, I'll kind of hold one up here and you can see what I'm talking about. I just broke one a minute ago. But my plan was just to bring the tile right up to the edge, but then you're going to have that unfinished edge on it, and we don't have any bullnose to match this tile. So what I decided to do, and I think just because of what I have to cover up on the face of this from when I tore the existing tile off, I'm going to go ahead and put the trim piece on here. I just think it's going to make it look a lot nicer, trim it out a lot better, bring it up nice and close, and I'll be able to cover it. So I've got all my pieces, the corners are mitered, and it looks like the corners are opposite mitered, but it does where it needs to. It is going back at a 45-degree angle, and then I just cut this wild corner off because I don't need that wild corner be underneath the tile. Let's just make it a little easier to install. So I've got my pieces, that's just taped up there because I like to do these as I lay the tile, lay the mortar down, kind of get those seated in, and then let the tile all hold it right into place. So I'll start down at the bottom and start working my way around and up. So next step is to mix up some mortar. First of all, I'll cut my pieces down on the bottom, and then I'll mix up some mortar and start setting in, and we'll go from there. All right, tile is all set, waiting to dry up, and then I can start grouting. So I thought I had measured everything just fine. I started running up the side tiles, up the one side, found out, because this is, if you recall, I said I did not want to have to notch this tile, if possible. It's always nice to be able to run your course right straight across the top. Well, I end up having to notch it. And I even made the grout joints a little bit wider than I wanted to compensate, to try to compensate, so I didn't have to have a cut piece in there. But doggone it, I did have to notch it. Oh well, not the end of the world. Things came together. I had the mantle is off just a little bit in the corner over on that side, so got a little bit closer of a grout joint around the wood, but not something you'll really notice anyways. But I think it came together nice. Full tile down at the bottom, and almost a full tile, just a shave off of that at the top. Above the fireplace, I'm saying, right below the fireplace, right above the fireplace. And then I had to, of course, rip the pieces at the at both junctures, top and bottom. But all in all, I guess I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll go ahead and let this set up for the 24 hours. Tomorrow, I will get the grout fired up and get that going, and then put the trim piece back on. I think it should turn out fine. Well, here we go with the finished product. I think it came out pretty decent. I'm going to seal up the bottom. I've got, when I pulled the carpet back, I didn't have a good tight line down at the bottom, so I'm just gonna run some tape down there. I'll fit in some grout at the baseline. I could caulk that too, but I would prefer to give that a grout just to give it that final finished appearance. But I don't know, it turned out pretty decent going around the entire fireplace compared to what it was with that old brown tile. This is a much needed improvement. So really appreciate you watching this video. If you like it, hit the like and subscribe, and we will see you all on the next video. Thanks for watching.